I chronicled my peculiar journey through the underrated indie horror title, Crow Country, because a little birdie told me it was an amazing game. Crow Country is a fantastic and severely underrated game that I can only summarize as a modern-day survival horror classic. It's a game that replicates the theme and appearance of PlayStation 1 era games like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Final Fantasy VII, and by that I don't mean thick gothic vampires who can squish you, cameos in Disney properties, or Norman Reedus. I'm specifically talking about the classics. I was very hesitant to play this game since I didn't think it would satisfy my uvula. But it did. The game begins with a monologue from Mara Forrest, who is a special agent heading to the amusement park called Crow Country, looking for Edward Crow, the owner of the park, who's gone missing. Don't forget her name, by the way. She's really insecure about that. What's-her-name enters the park, pistol in hand, noticing that things are a bit off about this place. I began this game thinking the exact same thing people like me who are too lazy to go into the other room to get their remote controller were thinking. Sorry about that, car. My parents never taught me directional movement. Yes. This game needs to be played with a controller for the best experience. Otherwise, half of your playthrough will be spent remembering that you hold down the spacebar to pull your Glock out. I met Arthur Mole, who was sitting on a barrel, damaged by a creature he can't quite explain. After sending Arthur to the car, I went down a dark hallway, which was honestly quite peaceful. Dude, did you not learn how to shoot at secret agent school? I beat these clearly boss enemies by walking out the door and walking back in, the true weakness of survival horror villains. I reached this game's save system, which comes in the place of a pyromaniac's wet dreams, fireplaces, campfires, and I actually thought this was a really cool way of incorporating into the surrounding theme. From that point, I found the passcode and phrase for the wooden fairy. Being the intelligent guy that I am, I immediately jumped at the opportunity to pull a lever. Gas started to attack me, and then I forgot how to walk again. From there, I collected a bronze key, which led me to the haunted hilltops, which reminded me of Banjo-Kazooie before any other horror game. Damn, this place makes me want to gaha, maybe even boobanaka. Perhaps I might even... Dude, don't ask. I don't even know what's wrong with me. Doctor said it was something to do with being antisocial. It's like a disorder or something. I met this lady, Julie, who was banging on a door wanting to enter. I then came to a haunted house, which honestly might have had the hardest puzzle in this game, so I rang the bell 5 times. I entered and got stabbed by a bookshelf immediately. No, I said that sentence right. The next time I picked up the phone immediately instead of waiting for voicemail and was spoken to by a mysterious man. I was locked into a room with a shotgun pointed at my girl's head. I can't remember her name. I read the gravestones, which clearly holded clues to escaping this room. I heard a ticking clock, which because of that you would think that the puzzle's on a timer, right? No. And the shotgun's fake. The game devs are just casually giving anxiety wielders more reasons to have heart attacks. I got to a room where I opened the door for Julie. Julie is a lawyer who is in charge of the Marshall case. A girl named Elaine Marshall got sick at the park, and her parents are in a current lawsuit against Mr. Crow. Elaine Marshall. Now that's a name I'll remember. I read a note explaining some stuff, and I somehow understood immediately. After getting a crank from a puzzle involving those same gravestones, I unlocked a new location called Ocean Kingdom. By the way, this is off of script. What? Why is Crow Park got an Ocean Kingdom and a haunted hilltops? I understand, right? Because crows are scary, really, really scary. I mean, whoa! I tell you, they pull their gun out of me and they steal my stuff. But like, Ocean Kingdom has nothing to do with birds. It's the same with a fairy village. I don't think crows typically live in fairy villages, although fairy villages don't real. I'm gonna get back on script. I immediately went to grab that shotgun that I heard about from the submarine. I did the maths, discovering I needed a score of 21, even though it's on the shotgun case. Oh, the guns for the game don't work. Clearly that means I have to fix them and not use my fucking pistol to shoot the targets. Okay, so I need to find something to fix these guns. Okay, I'll come back later. Yeah, good job, dumb fuck. I went to the broken swan ride and controlled the swan, using the crank to get a chain from the swan so that I could pull up this woeful mask. I then had to put gasoline into a flamethrower to make it melt the resin that was surrounding it. A creature of pure abomination came from the ground to remind me that my character controlling skills are inept when it comes to... What was her name? Ah, you scared me. Why can't I control her? After that, I used the mask to open up an area in the haunted hills, leading to a maze. The maze was easily the best puzzle in the game. I really enjoyed this one. It involved hitting pillars that shifted the pathways. For a moment, my life seemed joyous again. And then hell finally broke loose once more. Oh my god, what the fuck? Looks like I'm in a pickle. Better get out of here. From there, I met this man named Trumbull, who seemed to be the business associate of Mr. Crow in a powerless arcade room. I unlocked a silver key from a puzzle involving moving these dragon heads towards me in the center of the room. Why are these dragons leering at me? Okay, my 1 polygon eyes are up here, pal. I used the silver key on an arcade box to turn the power on. Strangely enough, I heard the phrase "fetch me their souls" not too long after. These arcade machines had a puzzle which involved getting a fixed score on certain machines. Since I am practically the master gamer, okay, let's face it, I'm really good at gaming. I finished this pretty easily and unlocked a floppy disk that I could use to get into the computers. After that, I immediately went to the train room and completed the puzzle, unlocking me the flamethrower. Why do I have a flamethrower, not the shotgun? Is the shotgun supposed to be better? No, you were just deprived of oxygen at birth. Seriously, why was this puzzle the easiest thing in existence, but whenever I enter the submarine, my understanding of basic problem solving goes out the window? Because of that, I went to the submarine to see if I had a part that fixed the guns to get the shotgun. Do I need plastic pellets or something? I don't understand. Shoot the targets with your fucking pistol! I got bored of not understanding basic concepts and went to the dungeon puzzle, which I completed like it was a preschool literacy test. Oh, so these correspond to the creatures in prison. Alright. I got an empty acid bottle, which we're gonna use later. With my silver key, I opened a door to a room with this guy named Tolman inside. Tolman's a little goofy, so instead of helping my purple-haired mystery-named protagonist out, I don't know her name, he made me do a puzzle I completed in 3 seconds. In school music, we learned about FACE, which, oh my god. What the fuck? My genius knows no bounds. It's a real relief that a shotgun wasn't behind that panel. Other than being an intellectual of musicality, I also noticed this guy is keeping a log of historical tragedies. The Hindenburg. Oh man. I loved when 37 German soldiers died upon it in 1939. If anyone asks, I did not, I repeat, not travel back in time to do this. The lever I pulled after completing the FACE puzzle, which I still didn't understand how I got that, allows for me to take the elevators down to the lower levels of the park. For some reason, after doing the music puzzle, it clicked in my brain finally. Oh my god, I'm supposed to use my pistol. Can we get a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? He finally did it. Good job, buddy. Doesn't mean your wife will ever forgive you for trading her favorite child for the ability to summon fireballs. It's rough living with myself. The cinnamon-flavored whiskey makes it a little easier. I went onto one of the 4 elevators around the map to go down to the dark depths of Crow Country. Down there were also the strange creatures that infested the park. There were also gold cutting stations, since through notes and memos you learned that Crow Country was a place where gold was manufactured. That's not the right word. Which is why Trumbull is here to find Mr. Crow. I also found acid that I put in my bottle. I went up another elevator going to Mr. Crow's office building. I met his daughter Natalie, who was vomiting in a corner. Do you mind not being fucking disgusting? Give you something? Yeah, this isn't a free business. If you pay up, I'll give you some Panadol. After giving Natalie some Panadol, I went into Mr. Pike's room, finding his dead body on the floor after an attempt at suicide, which succeeded. Dude, it doesn't matter how you hurt yourself, you're going to school tomorrow. I went to the theater and met the fairy who helped me at the beginning. It's revealed that she has a gold key inside of her head, which I need to melt in order to get it. I put the acid into a tank, shot off her wooden head, and melted down the resin. After letting my psychopathic tendencies win, I pick up another phone call, the unnamed caller finally being determined. It's Mr. Crow, and he's concerned about his daughter. What a great father. He's almost a better father than he is a better catalyst of world destruction. I then went outside to meet a police detective, Harrison James, who finally arrived to the scene via a bicycle. His car was stolen by a teenage punk. I don't think that my purple-haired chick is who I think she is. Special Agent Melina Frost. Who are you really? I entered Crow's office and went into his control room, there being a puzzle inside. The puzzle was a riddle that involved using his PowerPoint presentation of the enemies that have been presented throughout the game. A monster then spawned and I killed it pretty easily since we have that cool new gun with the shots. Why do they specifically call this one a shotgun? All guns shoot shots, right? I fixed the gas pressure below, which allowed me to enter a new building. With the help of Julie, my purple-haired femme fatale drifted ahead to find a battery for the Crow statue in the center of Crow Country. I obtained the battery from a mermaid, and then I found out that Julie had been kidnapped. Oh no, darn. Can't believe she got taken away. even though she's really done nothing for the story. I would then eat those words and grow obsessive and attached towards her. I left to the nearest elevator to get the battery recharged. They however put in lasers that I avoided with my pure willpower to complete this awesome game in one day. After charging the battery, I rode the elevator back to the haunted hilltop. As I ran to the crow statue and was placing the battery inside, some white-livered, yellow-bellied scoundrel started shooting at me. Who's shooting at me? Who has terrible aim? They missed every shot. Dude, I don't think your aim assist's working. I went down to the underworld one last time to see that Harrison James was lying there dead. My girl knew exactly what to do. Walk right into danger. Entering this unknown area after completing a simple puzzle, I met Tolman standing before me, ensuring I don't meet with Edward Crow. Behind me was Marvin Trumbull, the businessman trying to keep his illegal activities of the gold manufacturing concealed. Trumbull held me and my girl at gunpoint. We were about to die, and... Oh fuck, is this gonna be a boss fight? I don't think I'm prepared. Julie? What the fuck? I love you. After manslaughtering Trumbull, Tolman and my soon-to-be wife Julie leave to my police car, while I go to end Mr. Crow for the awful things he has done to the park employees and attendees. I descend down a long that leads to Mr. Crow's bunker. Mara Forrest goes to an intercom. Mr. Crow's voice asking for me to bring the vials to him and revealing that we were playing as Elaine Marshall the whole time. The girl who got sick at the park. Nah, I'm not gonna remember that. I think I'm just gonna call her Mara Forrest. I entered the room that Mr. Crow was keeping himself captive in. He was sick. Sicker than Mara, sicker than Arthur, sicker than all of the personalities we have met so far. But since they've made contact with the creatures, they are sick regardless, and will become one of them. Crow explains that these vials are antidotes, and there will be enough to cure the characters I met throughout the game, but not enough for him. Crow wants to enter this radioactive pool and reach the other side. He asks Mara to kill him if he re-emerges from the pool, and she agrees. Lo and behold, he re-emerges, meaning I had to put him out of his misery. The last scene shows all of the survivors having escaped, drinking their antidotes. Mara, Elaine Marshall, finally freed from this disease. Before I end this video, I want to leave some closing thoughts. I absolutely adored this game. I enjoy horror, puzzles, and old-style games, so of course this was going to tickle my fancy. Wow, that's a phrase I haven't heard since 1957. I don't entirely understand the whole picture that the story's trying to tell, but I got enough of the memos to understand the basic concept of what the story is telling. I genuinely mean this, even though my voice has a sarcastic tone constantly. It is very well put together. Elaine Mara Marshall Mathers, Eminem is a great protagonist that really emulates survival horror characters from the PlayStation 1 period. I'm genuinely glad that I experienced this blind. It makes me feel like I had the opportunity to play a classic PS1 game without everything being known about it already. I can't stress this enough. I can't wait for another SFB Games release in the future. All I know, SFB Games, I have one suggestion for you. Don't put a shotgun in the next game. Hey fellas, if you enjoyed this video, I highly suggest this video on my first experience with Hollow Knight, or this playlist of some goofy gameplays I've done. I'd like to thank my Patreon supporter CJ, who's a gambling pro. Listen to these words he's giving you. I've already lost 3k, but he promises we'll get it back. Anyways fellas, I will see you in, I don't know, your shower?